Hey, stolen cousins. You already know what time it is. Nee, 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 nee. Animated horror stories. Nee, nee, nee. Animated horror stories. Nee, nee, nee. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. I think we are at 1,500 subscribers, y'all. Boo, boo, boo. Like, what? Thank you so much for joining me along this journey. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all been with me since, like if you have been with me since day one, I appreciate you so much. If you haven't, thank you for joining. You got snatched up in this stolen family and you are a part of a big ass group of cousins. Like, how does that feel? Do you feel good to have a big ass group of cousins? Because I love a big family. Like, I got one in the real world. That's why I snatched y'all up, because I know not everybody have a big family. And I hate that for y'all. But now you do. Like, welcome. Grab the closest person next to you and say, "Hey, cousin, I'm awake." Yeah, hey, cousin, grab ass. Like, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you every step of the way. And when we start booming, and these giveaways start coming and the money start flowing and y'all pockets get fat with me, I just want you to think back to these moments when we had what? When we had 20 people, when we had 20 subscribers, when we had 100 subscribers. What? Our first 500 people. Our first 500 close cousins. Like, I'm gonna stop saying subscribers. I'm gonna just say cousins. So every subscriber is a cousin over here. And if you need me to clarify in the comments down the line, if you forget this conversation, I'll do so then. So, what I remember back to our first 20 cousins, y'all. The first 100 cousins, first 500 cousins. And now we are at 1,500 cousins. Like, yes. And I love y'all. I love y'all for this. And I thank you. And again, like, there's more to come. Just wait on it. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. Where are we at today? We are at our cousin Mr. Creepy house. Um, as always, please go over there and subscribe and then come back. Go over there, subscribe, watch the videos. Maybe I ain't show you something that he got over there. Come back and watch the stuff over here. Duh, and we'll go. Today we're doing a mix. It is top 7 most horror stories you'll ever see. He be saying things how he want. It's his page. He can do whatever he want. So top 7. It says it's a mix. KFC, McDonald's, Little Caesars. So it's given fast food. But what we are going to do is we will skip anyone that we have seen. Why? Because it's basically an hour video, 47, 41 minutes. I round up. That's basically 50. That's basically an hour. What I look like watching an hour video if I already seen half the videos. I don't know what's up in here. Not saying that I have already seen them. I'm just guessing. So if we do find one that we have seen, we will just skip it and go about the day. So let's get up in here. Please grab a blunt, grab a bottle of water, grab a bag of chips, and grab a blanket. Why? And give yourself a pat on the back if you're subscribed. That pat is if you're subscribed only. I love y'all so much again, and please just do me the favor of liking the video. The following stories are loosely based, inspired on true events. All characters and events taking place in this video are fictional. In reality, no one was hurt mentally or physically. And underneath that black box, he says, if your ass ain't grown, get your ass up off of these videos. That's what the cousin says. Crazy Karen at McDonald's.
Ruby had kind of a quick temper. Whenever the waiter appeared a bit late, or the clerk forgot to put her eggs on one side of the bag, she would mess it up and threaten to sue them.
I want to speak to your manager.
was her catchphrase
Yeah,
in
protecting
most
the manager. What's
situations.
up?
That day, she seemed indisposed, perhaps because of the gloomy weather. McDonald's was bustling with people, including her. She stood in line with a scowl on her face.
You gotta wait.
It took a long time for Ruby to place her order, and finally, she got it. The server today was Ivy. Ivy smiled politely and paused to take Ruby's order.
1 double cheeseburger.
Ruby focused on the menu on the table, not giving Ivy a glance. After ordering, Ruby stayed at the counter to wait for her food. Less than a minute had passed, and Ruby lost all patience. She kept looking at her watch, then back at the door.
Bitch, we ain't about to give you no raw
After a
food.
while, Ivy brought out the meal. Ruby flashed a forced smile and narrowed her eyes as she stared at her dish.
You're welcome.
What the hell is this?
Ruby shouted angrily. She slammed the glass of water on the table and broke it. Small pieces of glass were strewn over the table. All the guests were
Why you
startled.
breaking shit up in
Ivy
here?
worriedly ran over.
What's wrong, madam? What's wrong? Look at this.
Ruby raised the bunch of human
Stop
hair
playing with
close
me,
to
bitch. That's
Ivy's
your
face,
hair.
growling.
There's hair in my burger.
Other customers started whispering.
Sorry, madam, but there seems to be a mistake here.
Ivy hastily explained.
Period. 'Cause bitch, that's
What
your hair.
do you mean by mistake?
Ruby opened her eyes widely. Ivy explained that the food here was prepared and served in hygienic conditions. Plus, the staff working in the kitchen had short hair, so there was no chance a hair could get in.
Get crazy.
You mean I made it up by myself?
And you did.
No, madam, I didn't. You rat! How dare you? Where's the manager?
The rat.
Let me talk to the manager.
Ruby immediately grabbed Ivy's shirt and yelled at her like she would eat Ivy alive. But that wasn't enough. She pressed Ivy's head against the table full of sharp, broken glass. Ivy trembled to resist when her face was only inches away from it. She didn't expect that the first day of work would be so...
I want to speak to your manager.
Ruby
Ivy!
continued to yell. At this moment, Danny, the store manager, appeared.
My apology for our new employee. She might be a bit short of experience.
What do you mean?
How can I
apology?
help you?
Apology for
Are
her.
you the manager?
Ruby looked scornfully at the thin man in front of her.
Apologize
She
for her.
slandered
Apologize
me.
for her.
You gotta do something.
She just
Do
yelled
something.
at her
She
rat.
finally loosened her hands on Ivy. Ivy was too
Ivy, if
scared
you don't
to
get
move.
up and
So
knock
she
her ass
fell
in the
to
head
the
or
ground.
something.
Danny, with a polite smile,
Danny, you
offered
better be
Ruby
poisoning her food or
compensation.
some shit. You
Not
better be on
only
her way to
another
die.
burger meal,
'Cause she
but a
just
takeaway
yoked her up
combo
and all
of double
types of other crazy
cheeseburgers.
shit.
But Ruby wasn't satisfied.
Get
She
out!
wanted Ivy to apologize to her in front of everyone.
Oh, you could
And
die.
Ivy did,
Like you
in a
could
patient way.
dead.
Ruby sat
You ain't
down
getting not a damn look of
arrogantly.
apology.
It looks like
Ivy.
you're lucky today.
Ivy, you can go inside and prepare the meal.
Danny said.
Ain't nobody going. Ivy,
After
go
a
home.
while, Ivy
Go.
brought
I
out
hope
the
you
food
choke
to
on the
Ruby.
burger. I hope
Ruby
you choke
sneered
right now,
and
y'all.
rudely
Her
snatched
throat,
it.
and
She
then her
sniffed
ass
the
will
smell
fall
of
over.
food coming out of the bag, and then quickly left the restaurant, just the way she did after cheating in other restaurants. Ivy stood there and watched the woman driving away, still shaking.
Hey, take it easy. We meet a lot of people like that.
A co-worker passed by and patted her on the shoulder. The mean Ruby was driving down the street, hitting the horn repeatedly. As her car pulled onto the freeway, she started eating the burger. She chewed hard as if she had been starving for a long time, not even bothering about the taste. One bite, then two, and three. She soon finished half of the burger. The pain came slowly. As soon as she realized something was wrong, she spat out the food. It turned out a lot of blood. Her eyes widened in shock as blood ran down her neck and clothes. At this moment, Ruby realized that there was a small piece of glass in her mouth. A stomach ache also started to hit her hard. She felt her throat burning and her stomach
What did I
twisted with pain.
say? Dead.
Ruby quickly
Dead,
lost control.
bitch, dead.
The car lurched and crashed into the roadside bar.
Sorry, y'all. My husband
It
called me.
exploded shortly after.
What exploded? The
The
car?
incident was reported very soon.
That's Karen's car.
The co-worker in McDonald's panicked when she recognized the car and its owner,
That's
but
alright.
then thought that it was fair.
She deserves it.
Ivy gave a
and she
forced
did.
smile, her eyes slowly moving to the trash can, which was full of glass pieces just a couple of hours ago.
So did Ivy do it or did Danny do it?
Hi everyone, it's Faith again.
You ain't got no
Today I
business
want to
going
show
up in
you
nowhere
guys this
talking about nobody.
abandoned McDonald's restaurant. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's go!
This McDonald's was located in a small suburb, and it took Faith over an hour to find the way there. But it was worth all her efforts. She felt excited to be the first YouTuber to explore this place and was sure this video would break the record of her channel.
I heard that there was a massacre here.
So why would
And
you
the
go up in
victims
there?
were McDonald's employees. The killer was never arrested.
So he's
Faith
still up in there.
emphasized while filming the inside of the restaurant. There were neatly arranged tables and chairs on which many dust layers had thickened over time.
Look!
The old menu and some posters were still there on the board and also covered with dust and mold. Faith went to see the ice cream machines, the soda maker, and fryers. Suddenly, she saw a patch of mold on the floor behind the counter.
The police once found a body here.
Get
This
over
place
there.
is a mess.
Faith panned the camera around to the kitchen.
I think we should move on.
Faith said to the camera and stepped over the mess on the floor toward the bathroom. As she was walking along the hallway, the flashlight went out. Yikes, she didn't change the battery.
That's her own
Faith stopped
fault.
to shake the flashlight,
Time to go
hoping
home.
to brighten it up a little longer.
Oh, shoot!
Yellow.
Faith was startled, almost dropping the flash. Behind the window was a smiling Ronald Clown statue, whose eyes were wide open and very spooky. The statue looked old and odd.
Look, guys. This clown looks so real.
Realizing nothing so dangerous about this thing, she moved on to the other corners. The next destination was the toilet area, which was told to be where the murderer hid the corpses.
Can you put them eyes
Right
with
after
you?
she walked to the door, the unpleasant musty smell wafted out. She gulped, hesitating whether to go in. Even though people said it was a rumor, it still frightened Faith.
I'm feeling pretty nervous, guys. Just a rumor, anyway.
Faith turned the doorknob. Nothing special here.
Oh, just a regular bathroom.
Faith sighed, yet still wanted to check it. She went around with the camera on. It looked cleaner than the other rooms, and there was no mold, no blood, or sign of murder here.
Guys, the rumor is fake.
Faith left the toilet. This time, Faith focused on the floor she was standing on. There were a lot of stains, some messy piles of things, some dusty paintings and drawings.
God! These are really...
Really what? Forget about that.
Faith was panic-stricken, then she fell to the ground, dropping the camera. On the ceiling was
Get
a
out,
dead
Faith!
body hanging. The corpse was wearing a McDonald's uniform. Her hand dangled in the air. Her face with two black eye sockets was covered in messy hair. Suddenly, her mouth started to move.
What's in
Faith
there?
was so scared that her whole body froze.
Roasted.
The
Out her
brown
mouth.
liquid trickled down,
Ooh.
emitting a foul
Faith!
stench throughout the air. Faith was panic-stricken, then she fell to the ground, dropping the camera. Rumors were true, and this place was really haunted. At this point, she didn't care about the video anymore.
Get out!
She quickly grabbed the camera and ran away from the abandoned restaurant without looking back. Fortunately, during her run, Faith found a police station. She quickly rushed in. When the police arrived, they quickly searched the entire restaurant but did not find the body. But the police continued to investigate based on Faith's video and traces at the scene. Faith offered the police some footage from her camera for investigation. As she watched the tape to the end, Faith shivered when she discovered the most terrible thing. There was no statue of Ronald the Clown in this abandoned McDonald's at all.
Killer was just in there waiting for him. He had that wild thornberry giggle. McDonald's mukbang. This doesn't make any use.
My girlfriend, Rosamund, was an Instagram influencer famous for her vegetarian lifestyle. To me, her eating habit was way annoying, especially when we hung out together. For example, while all I wanted was a quick meal at McDonald's, Rosamund was the opposite. She really hated it when I munched a burger.
Y'all ain't gotta
On
be
one of
together
our
if y'all don't know
dates,
how to just
we
eat
decided to go
separately.
shopping, then eat out at noon. On the long street, we couldn't find any other restaurants other than McDonald's.
No, not again!
Rosamund shook her head.
Come on, Rosie. I'm so hungry. You don't love me anymore, huh?
I insisted. After a while, she eventually reluctantly followed me to my heaven of fast food. Rosamund seemed so disturbed at the menu.
Looks like I have to starve myself again.
She got angry because there were no vegan dishes. She left me at the counter and stormed to the booth. So I ordered my usual Big Mac combo meal and an unsweetened iced tea. When I came back with the food, Rosamund suddenly changed her attitude. Just a few seconds ago, she was mindlessly scrolling through Instagram.
Hope you enjoy eating meat. Yay!
Yes, I
She
do.
pouted and turned away. She acted as though I were sinning just because I was eating a burger.
Come on, Rosie. One bite won't make you sick.
Y'all need to
I
discuss
begged her
it.
again.
It will. If she's been
One
vegan,
bite?
it will.
It's meat! Don't you care about those animals?
Rosie frowned at me, then pointed at the burger with an annoyed expression. I understood that she was vegan, so she was annoyed to see me eat meat. But her
I don't.
reaction
Boy,
was
just
too
eat no
much.
damn food.
After a while, the manager came to our table. I was expecting to be kicked out, but he just smiled gently and offered his
Don't
hand
eat
to
that shit,
Rosamund.
Rosie.
It turned out he recognized my famous girlfriend and offered her $500 to review McDonald's new dish. To our surprise, he gave Rosamund a small box with the McDonald's logo. This is a special combo only available at McDonald's. I hope you will consider this offer. They're all vegan, he said, winking.
Lying.
Rosamund looked at the box, then back at the manager incredulously. The manager nodded affirmatively.
Shake
So
your head.
Rosamund took the box from the manager and said
Get
she
the
would consider
$500?
the offer.
Where the $500 at?
That night, my girlfriend live streamed about a McDonald's food box instead of the usual high-fiber dishes. She gobbled everything in the box, and after every bite was a compliment about McDonald's food. But just as the live stream ended, she immediately ran to the bathroom and threw up everything.
There's no way that was vegan.
She grimaced and looked so annoyed.
Are you
To
serious?
be honest, I thought she was merely acting. But what surprised me more was that she asked me to go to McDonald's. Had she really changed her mind? When I
How
entered the
would you even
restaurant,
eat it?
I couldn't believe my eyes. Rosamond was sitting in front of a large order of fries, chicken, burgers, and soda. And she was devouring all of them like crazy. Rosie, are you okay? I sat down in front of her. Are these all vegan? She continued to shove the food into her mouth as if she were
No, they weren't vegan
starving.
in the first place.
Even though I was a McDonald's fan, I was a bit disgusted to see my girlfriend acting like this. She was like
grab
a
fucking
robot,
burger.
eating a bunch of food within minutes without any intention of stopping. I mean, the amount of food on the table seemed too much for even two people. Rosamond,
There's
are
a
you
couple
all
salads
right?
over there.
I worried. Looking around, I recognized some other KOLs that I followed on Instagram. They were behaving as ridiculous as my girlfriend.
Oh,
The
drugs.
manager I encountered the previous day was giving the same special boxes to those customers.
Drugs.
After this, we had a quarrel about how she was completely ignoring me and only paying attention to the food.
Not
But
these, they got
Rosamond
fat.
just didn't care about me, and she didn't post anything on Instagram either. After 3 days, I'd had enough, so I came to her house to find her. Gosh, the floor was covered in paper boxes and cups, some with leftovers, and they were all from McDonald's. Sitting on the sofa, my beautiful Rosamond was no longer herself. She looked literally like a human balloon. Her face was
Don't do
full
her.
of grease and oil. She could barely move with her limp legs, and
It's
her
only been
hands
3
kept
days.
shoving food into her mouth. Rose! Rose! I was freaked out and worried. I tried to stop her, but she just kept ignoring me. She went totally crazy for the food. Listen to me. She was just busy with her stuffing career. Finally, I had to call 911. Rosamond was taken to the hospital. At the same time, the food was taken for examination. It turned out that in those special boxes, there was a sort of strongly addictive chemical that forced people into stuffing themselves and
Crack.
making their bodies bloat up. The evil manager, who was now wanted by the police, ran away with the money. And my Rosamond, I don't think she'll ever recover her mental health.
McDonald's. McDonald's. I want McDonald's.
Poor Rosie.
Give me McDonald's. Give me McDonald's.
Stay with the salad. Put a time out. Scary Mind at KFC.
My name is Vanessa. I'm a full-time employee at KFC restaurant. This wasn't my favorite job, but it was my main source of income, so I guessed I had no choice. My boyfriend and I lived in a shabby apartment. Most of the time, our dinner was the leftovers I brought from work. Things seemed to be fine, until one night. It was a Saturday night. The restaurant was incredibly crowded, so I had to work from the morning to late night. While I was cleaning the table, I noticed a new customer sitting at a table in the corner. He was frantically waving at me. I thought he wanted to order, so I went toward him. He turned out to be a mime artist, and he was grinning. "What would you like to order, sir?" I gave him the menu, but this guy just stared at me and started performing like we were in a play. Looking at his gestures, I guessed he wanted chicken and fries. Something about this guy made me feel uncomfortable.
Okay, skipping the next two because we done. He gonna pop up at her crib,
Little Caesars was my favorite pizzeria.
and then this one.
Not only did they have the best pizzas, but it was also Sasha's workplace. To me,
Sasha.
she was the greatest chef, and she made the best pizzas in the world. That day, I went to Little Caesars as usual. After ordering, I sat in my favorite seat. From this view, I could see Sasha step out sometimes. She looked so beautiful in Little Caesar's uniform with an apron. When the waiter brought the pizza out, I imagined it was Sasha. She was getting closer and now serving me the food.
Do you need anything else?
The waitress's
Hey,
voice
Sasha.
woke me up. I shook my head and stared at the meal. While swallowing each bite with pleasure, I thought about the presents I gave her, wondering if she liked them or not. I sat at Little Caesars for a few hours, and before leaving, I left a note for Sasha. I wanted to wait outside until her shift ended.
Why would
I
you
stayed
do that?
across the street and looked at the pictures of her. Whatever she did, she was so adorable. Even when she was sleeping,
You see?
eating, walking,
Right, like,
or
come
making
on.
pizzas, she looked so gorgeous.
This girl just trying to
Oh,
work, and
there
here you
she
are
was.
stalking her.
For your information, I had a small gift for her and was dying to see her reaction. After a few steps, Sasha turned her head back.
Don't touch her.
I hid behind the wall, trying not to let her find me.
How the hell did
Then
you
Sasha
find her?
suddenly walked faster, so I had to speed up to keep up with her. Sasha? I suddenly appeared, touching her back.
Why would
she
you touch
screamed
her?
and ran away. I thought maybe she ran into some trouble, so I chased after her. I
are you
kept running
talking
and
about?
running,
You
but
are the
ended up
trouble.
losing track of her. The next day, I went
Leave
back
her
to Little
alone.
Caesars, sat in my favorite seat, and ordered my favorite pizza. Sasha was nowhere to be seen, but
I hope
I
she
assumed
quit.
she was in the kitchen.
You're eating too much.
Disgusting!
Are you starving?
I heard the
Ooh.
other guests whispering something, but I didn't care much. Sasha made those pizzas for me, just me. So of course I would eat all of them. But
even
the
back there.
taste today was weird and not as good as usual. Especially because I could feel something inside my mouth that no matter how hard I chewed, it wouldn't go away.
Oh, that's
I
nasty.
tried to swallow it, but it stuck in my throat. Something in the food made me throw up. I heard a woman scream.
What the heck?
That's disgusting.
A few more people knocked over their chairs. It seemed that they were very angry. I pulled the thing out of my throat. It was a bunch of hair. I was so scared and confused, I didn't know what to do.
That jerk just threw up. So disgusting.
A guest spoke up as the staff approached. Everything was so chaotic that I couldn't do anything but rush away. After the incident, I didn't have any courage to go into that place again, but waited for Sasha from the other side of the road.
Don't.
She finally finished her shift. I quietly followed her without making any noise.
I just put a little hair in the pizza and it worked.
Sasha was laughing with someone on the phone.
He probably wouldn't dare to come anymore. What a freak.
I heard all these words and it
Leave her
broke my
alone.
heart into pieces. How could
You don't
she
even
do
know
this
this
to me?
girl.
I didn't believe this. I had to ask her. Sasha, why? Sasha! I immediately rushed towards her.
Pervert!
Off
Sasha
of
screamed
her.
when I touched her shoulder.
Stay away from me! Leave me alone!
She screamed too loudly, so I covered her mouth.
You about
But
to
she
kill her?
resisted and thrashed violently.
She can't breathe.
Behave.
Ew, you can throw up on your
My
face.
little angel. I
Die,
pushed
girl,
my hand
just die.
toward her, whispered into her ears.
Oh,
But she
God.
wouldn't stop panicking.
She can't
Nothing to be
breathe.
scared of, Sasha. I had to hug her and comfort her. Behave.
She is dying.
Sasha was no longer struggling. She behaved now. I hugged her in
You
my
killed
arms.
her.
Gosh, her hair smelled so good. Her body had the smell of my favorite pizza. I couldn't stop inhaling the scent of her hair and skin.
That's disgusting. You ate her? Uh-uh.
From now on, Sasha would always be by my side and enjoy Little Caesar's pizza with me. No more
That's not
heartbreak,
cooking up.
no more fear,
Oh my god.
just you
That is so bad.
and me. I love Little Caesar's pizza and even their fun commercials. But after the horrible incident I'm going to tell you right now, I never again dared to stand next to people with Little Caesar's mascot uniforms. That image haunted me every night. It was Saturday night, so after work, I stopped by Little Caesar's. There were not many people there. Near the door, there was an employee dressed as Little Caesar's mascot. He was smiling and dancing non-stop.
Thank you.
I stopped and pulled out my phone to take some pictures and watched him dance for a while.
This is so funny. He danced like a maniac.
After that, I went into the restaurant. Suddenly, the man stopped dancing. He grabbed my hand and said, "Why'd you leave?" I tried to pull my hand away, but he was gripping it so tightly. His eyes filled with hatred towards me. I was both angry and scared, so I yelled at him.
Hey, let me out!
Get the
The
fuck off!
smile disappeared, replaced by a scary face.
Psycho, your dance is horrible!
I tried my best to yank my hand away and run into the store. I could still feel him looking at me with those scary eyes. I walked over to the cashier and said to a waiter there,
Excuse me, but I think the man and that mascot there was so weird. He was so rude to me.
You don't even
but
work
he
here,
just
girl.
said,
He's not an employee here.
What? So who is he?
I was
The weirdo
surprised to
that be
hear
outside.
that. I don't know. He comes here every day, but everyone ignores him. After the conversation,
Here you go,
I
giving
started
his
to feel
ass-
scared of this man. I finished my meal and waited until the man left, but he was dancing and glaring at me. He seemed to carry a deep hatred towards me. He repeatedly used the spear in his hand to bang on the glass door, threatening me.
This man is so creepy. Who knows what he'd do if I got out of the store right now?
I said to myself.
Poke you with
I
the
tried
spear.
to avoid his gaze because it annoyed me, but when I turned around, he was gone. I looked around and he was no longer there. It was time for me to leave. So I walked out of the store and quickly headed for the parking lot. As I walked, I could hear footsteps from behind. But when I turned around, there was no one there. So I hurriedly walked faster, ignoring the footsteps. Finally, getting to my car, I rummaged through my bag for the car keys, but maybe in panic, I dropped the keys. I looked around on the ground and didn't see them anywhere. My heart
went
was
down the
beating
damn
faster now.
sewer?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, y'all.
down
we
the
paid
drain.
attention.
I squatted
Oh, I
and
would have
tried to
died.
reach
I
down
would have
there
died. I
to
would have
get the
died.
keys
Not
out.
the sewer.
Suddenly, something sharp pressed against my
Let me
neck.
see.
I almost
Oh,
froze
the fucking
immediately.
spear?
I knew if I moved just a little, that thing might make a nice cut on my neck.
It
I
ain't
trembled
real, girl.
and cried.
Hopefully,
What do
I
you
am calling his bluff.
do
you
you
get
want from me?
You wanna know?
The man
No.
said.
Why did you refuse to watch my dance?
Boy, according
It
to
was
us,
my
buddy, I was the only one who watched it.
I'll watch you dance.
He then stuck the tip of his spear into my neck and said,
It's too late.
just
You
as
don't
he
need
was
this.
about to raise his spear and plunge it down, I yelled. Instinctively, I raised my hand and the spear stabbed my hand, blood splattering. I was in so much pain, I couldn't feel anything else, while the psycho gloatingly laughed and continued his crazy dance. As fast as I could, I jumped, pushed him, and ran like hell back to the store. But not until I got there did I realize
Oh,
it was
God,
now
they still up
closed.
in there, though.
I banged on the door and shouted to the staff, but no one answered. I lost all hope. I turned around to see the
They
madman
still up in
rushing
there.
towards me. tears welling up in my eyes.
Ain't going nowhere
Maybe
yet.
my life would soon end here in front of Little Caesar's. When he was
Come on now,
about
not
to
in
get
front.
close to me with the spear, suddenly the store clerk came from behind him with a long flashlight and hit him on the head.
Period. Knock his
The
ass
psycho
out.
stumbled and fell. I breathed a sigh of relief. The employee walked up to me and said, "Are you okay?"
No.
I shakingly said,
I'm fine.
before losing consciousness. I woke up in the hospital with my arm bandaged in white. I was later interviewed by the police, and they revealed that he had no criminal record, but had a mental illness. He'd been dancing in front of Little Caesars for 3 days now, but no one noticed him. So perhaps because I showed him
Yes,
interest,
you did.
then walked
That's
away,
why.
he got mad at me?
But that ain't got nothing to do with you. They should have called someone on that man. Got him out there for days, just out there. Like, come on now. You know better than that. Got that man just out there. Oh. Hey. I enjoy this, honestly. Like, skipping the two. The other ones was crazy. That first one was the craziest because y'all know I hate a disrespectful bitch, especially at a place of work. Like y'all don't need to act at all. It was like that one where apparently old girl was cussing at the little baby child, and then her mama came there and cussed her out. Like, bitch, don't be talking to my daughter like that. Embarrassed her, so she tried to throw oil on them, and they whooped her ass. Tore that lady up. I'll try to find it so I can put it at the end of this one because it was really crazy as hell. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please remember to like the video. I love y'all, and until next time.